Hello, everyone. I'm Don Ghost, the worst movie reviewer, and today we are going to be talking about The Discovery on Netflix. Thomas, Robert Redford's character, proves that the afterlife is real. Thomas, played by Robert Redford, proves that the afterlife does exist, but at what cost to humanity? People begin killing themselves left and right at an extremely high rate, and everybody blames Thomas for the massive suicides, including his son, Will, played by Jason Segel. Will returns home to his father, Robert Redford, and he tries to tell him to stop the madness that he has created. In the process of returning home, Will meets Islia, played by Rooney Mara, and during an almost tragic event, Will and Thomas decide to take Islia into their home, where Thomas conducts studies for his discovery. This movie was pretty good. I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, I thought it was okay. I love that this movie begs the question, if you knew 100% that the afterlife was real, would you take your own life? I mean, there are religious groups out there and they believe the afterlife exists, and you don't see them killing themselves at an extremely high rate. I feel like what this movie is getting at is if you've suffered and had to deal with pain your whole life, what else do you have to live for? It's like, what keeps the average human being going? What keeps you alive? I thought these were interesting questions, and during the first two acts, the movie goes there. But then during the last half of this movie, I feel that it completely changes gears. And as it goes on and on and on, I become less interested. And by the end of it all, I just don't care anymore. I thought the ending was kind of touching, but the way the movie led to that point seemed a little wacky. When I think about it, the movie seemed like it was going for like a Flatliners meets Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind kind of vibe. The first half of this story worked, but the latter, not so much.
Peter, you suck. Peter, you suck.
Jason Segel's good in this movie. He delivers a dramatic performance, but my only problem is I just can't look past him being a funny man. Maybe that's just me. There are a lot of moments where his character is supposed to be emotional, but Segel's performance comes off as this stick man trying to pull some emotional depth out of himself, and it just isn't there completely. Rooney Mara doesn't seem like she has to do anything in this movie but be a pretty face, and she does a good job at that. I mean, her scenes are fine, but I don't think she does a whole lot here. By the end of this movie, her last scene is supposed to be heartfelt and tragic, but the movie didn't spend a lot of time with her, and whatever I was supposed to feel about her character came off as rigid and forceful. Robert Redford is Robert Redford. He's the best actor in this movie. All his scenes are believable, and it's freaking Robert Redford, man, okay? Charlie McDowell. I haven't seen any of his recent movies, but after watching this, I may give his new and recent movies a watch. I noticed that a lot of directors are using the one-take camera trick, and it's effective for the most part. The music comes into play smoothly, and the tone feels like it mixes well between the drama and comedy and love in this story, and I really enjoyed it. The drama parts work, the comedy scene's a bit off and kind of corny to me, and the love story wasn't really into it. I liked how this movie played into the love story with a twist, but just the overall execution getting there just wasn't enough for me. What would you do if you knew 100% that the afterlife existed? What would you do if you had the opportunity to reverse things and save someone you love? Do you ever feel guilty for the mistakes you've made in the past? Do you wish you could have done things differently? These are the common everyday questions that I believe most people ask themselves every day. This movie sets all this up, and it's beautiful. But then the love story comes in, and it feels forced. It's not tragic, even though the movie tries to make it seem that way. I'm not trying to give anything away here. But, I mean, it's a little sad, but I just don't care. I was really looking forward to this movie. The trailers were intriguing, but I was disappointed by the final product. I'm just going to have to give this movie a B-. The first two acts were intriguing enough and it grabbed my attention, but then it completely lost me once they forced this whole poorly built love story into my system. It's bad. Jason Segel probably has some dramatic chops, but he doesn't really shine here. His performance just seems odd and uneven, like he doesn't want to be there. I mean, he plays it straightforward, but it doesn't work for me. Every time I see this man's face, I'm just like, he should be doing something funny. I mean, he's fine, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't give him a whole lot to work with. I don't know. He could have ironed out a few wrinkles with his performance.
Peter, you suck. Peter, you suck.
So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.